Hello, I hope everybody is doing well, and I am doing extremely well because the St. Louis Blues yet again are proving to me that this is a team that you cannot count out after their 7-5 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm going to also be talking about the World Juniors Day 1 and our players that are in it. This is all coming up here on Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you about all things St. Louis Blues hockey here, a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Again, you can listen to this on any streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube if you want to see some video, and of course, our friends at SiriusXM. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Blues win against Chicago and why that was such an important win. I will be also talking about, as I mentioned, the World Juniors Day 1 and our players that are in it, looking ahead to the Stars, and of course, my Blues wish list. So this is all coming up on today's episode. Before I dive deeper into things on today's episode, I want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. So this is my second attempt of doing this live stream because in the first attempt, my mic wasn't on. I am still getting used to having this microphone. There's a switch, so it's like an on-off switch, and it's always like lit green, if that makes sense. So you can't tell if it's on or off. Ace is on the chat. What's up, man? I hope you're doing well, Ace Rob. And I'm excited to kind of go over everything that's happened in Bluesland. It has been such a great week to be a St. Louis Blues fan. Yesterday was Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody. Later on in today's episode, I will talk about my Blues wish list. So if you have a wish list that you wanted Santa to fill for the St. Louis Blues, let me know in the comments on YouTube. I know on Twitter, some of you already gave me some of your wish list items, and that could be anything from a certain player that you went to see on the Blues or some goals and expectations that you have for the Blues. It could also be a jersey that you want to see the Blues wear. So it could be anything that you want, but let me know because today's episode, it's going to be a good one because there is nothing but goodness to talk about when it comes to the St. Louis Blues. And they're on the good list this year because of their win against Chicago, and it was a beautiful win. So the first thing I want to say is this. I know Connor Bedard is one of the best players right now. I know that he was the, first overall draft pick. Everybody wanted him. I get it. And in this game, he did have a great goal. It was like a lacrosse style goal. It was actually a very cool goal. But the coolest part of that game, it wasn't Bedard's goal. It was the Blues' comeback. That is right. A comeback. So I'm going to talk about what went on in this game, why this game ended up being 7-5, and why this was such a big comeback. So in the first period, 3 minutes in, Robert Thomas scores his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Pavel Buchnevich, and it was 1-0 St. Louis. Unfortunately, 30 seconds later, Connor Bedard had that really cool goal, and it quickly became a tied game 1-1. And then about a minute later, the Blackhawks score yet again, and it was a 2-1 lead for the Blackhawks after 20 minutes. In the second period, the Blackhawks score on the power play about 20 seconds in. So it was 3-1 Chicago. Colton Parayko scores for the Blues, assisted by Sammy Blais and Mackenzie McEachern, and it became 3-2. The Blues cut their deficit in half. Unfortunately, how the story usually goes, the Blackhawks score about with 4 minutes left in the second period, so it became 4-2 heading into the final frame. In the final frame, on a short-handed goal, the Blackhawks scored and it became 5-2. Well, let me set and paint the picture for you. There's about 14 minutes left of this game. The Blackhawks are up 5-2. Do you really think the Blues have a chance? Do you think the Blues are going to be, let's go make a comeback? No, you don't think that when you think about the St. Louis Blues. I hate to be maybe negative, But when I was watching the game, I did not think that the Blues were going to make a comeback. I'm like, okay, well, this sucks. This is embarrassing. This is an awful way to go out into the holiday season. But luckily, I saw a different St. Louis Blues team. I saw a team that was determined to win and be victorious. So Braden Saad scores on the power play. That is right, assisted by Kevin Hayes and my boy Scott Perunovich, giving the Blues now a little bit of a chance, right? It's 5-3. Jake Neighbors scores on the power play. I know, crazy words. Assisted by Justin Folk and Kevin Hayes. And now it is 5-4. And now there is 10 minutes left of the game. If I told you the St. Louis Blues were going to score 3 goals in 10 minutes, what would you say? What would you do? Would you be surprised? Well, I was, because after that, Jordan Kyrou scored his 8th goal of the season with an assist by Robert Thomas, giving him his 24th assist, and Pavel Buchnevich. Now it's 5-5 tied game. Justin Folk scores actually his 2nd goal of the season, and that was assisted by Torrey Krug. So now it is 6-5. St. Louis overtakes the lead, first time since that first period. And then Jordan Kyrou gets an empty netter. So his 9th goal of the season, and it became a 7-5 victory. Whoa, what an overwhelming game, to say the least. That was a game that really shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have been like that the whole game, but it was. Here's the problem. This team waited until the last frame. And all along, if they played as hard as they did in that third period, especially that second half of the third period, they wouldn't have been in this situation. And this is what's frustrating. While it is exciting, and I can say that it was a great third period for the Blues, because it was a great third period, that's only 20 minutes. I can't say that first period was good, because it wasn't. I can't say the second period was good, because it wasn't. The third period was the only good part about that game, and it should have never been like that. Chicago is not a good team. They have a great player, and I've talked about this before, but Connor Bedard, yes, he's a great player, but it shouldn't have ever been in a situation where the Blues are having to come back from trailing 5-2 to the Blackhawks. Like, they should have really been playing harder the whole game. And I'm not trying to be, oh, she is a mean one, Mrs. Grinch. Like, no, I'm not like that. But I'm allowed to be frustrated and be annoyed that this is even happening. I feel like, here's the thing. When the Blues trail 5-2, I did see a shift in momentum. Justin Folk is a player that I always say really steps up during clutch situations, and he did. So he is somebody that is so slept on all season. I feel like he gets blamed. I mean, not him necessarily, but I know the defense gets blamed a lot. But I feel like he has been such a consistent player, and I really enjoy how he plays the game. I feel like there is a lot of a lot of blame on the defense, and I get it, but I'm seeing positives, and I want to point that out. When there are positives, I do get excited, because it does make me feel better about where the direction this team is heading. And I think that that is the most important thing about this Blues team right now, is that they're at least heading into the right direction. So, somebody said about players' names. I literally never talk about opposing players' names unless it's something significant, just because I'm focusing on the Blues, not the Blackhawks. So if anybody has a problem because I don't say the Blackhawks players who scored and I don't analyze their goals, it's because this is a St. Louis Blues-based podcast, and I'm going to talk about our guys. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, she doesn't know hockey. I know my hockey. I know what goes on in the game, but my focus isn't Chicago. My focus is the Blues and how they played against Chicago. So that's that. Okay, on the spirit of people being nice today, I'm going to talk to you about my friends over at FanDuel Sportsbook or FanDuel app. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/locked on and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Okay, let's go back to the comments. So, as many of you guys know, the World Juniors is going on right now. And I want to talk about our guys. Debor Dvorsky, do you know who he is? He is probably one of my favorite players right now. So he is a forward, and he was the Blues' first draft pick in this 2023 NHL draft, 10th overall pick. And he had 3 shots in today's games. And, he's a big contributor. So while he didn't have any goals, I thought he played phenomenal hockey. So I am a huge fan of him. Also, I know I'm going to mess up this guy's name because I do this all the time. But you know what? You have to give a girl some slack. This is Slovakia. It's not that easy. But also, oh man, I know. And then I'm gonna get comments. Oh my god, she doesn't know hockey. Like I get it. Pekarok. It's always confusing. Anyways, yeah, Slovakia 1-2-6-2. So, and they will play Wednesday at 5 a.m. against Switzerland, which I will be watching tomorrow because I have to get up every day at 4 a.m. So. Or I don't know, because it's like the time zone changes. All I know is I put on my World Hockey and I kind of just like wait. So then we have Canada's 5-2 win over Finland. And Kazamaki, center 2022 third round pick, had 1 goal and 2 shots and helped with the win. So. Oh, no, he didn't help with the win. Finland lost. My bad. And they will be facing Germany at 7:30 a.m. on Wednesday. So get ready for that. Then we have USA versus Norway. US won 4-1, which is good. And I have to tell you, Snuggerud, winger, 2022 first round pick, 23rd overall, University of Minnesota, was on the ice. And got US on the boards. So he gave US a 1-0 lead, and it was definitely a very exciting thing. So he had 6 shots on goals, which was good. And then we have Sweden and, oh my gosh, Latvia. I have to tell you, they really do me dirty with my little Jersey accent going on here because I'm like, oh, I'm trying. It's always like so difficult. But we have Stenberg, a center, 25th overall pick in the 2023 NHL draft, and he picked up 1 assist. And Sweden, by the way, won 6-0. So, and they will. Oh, and Lindstein also was on the ice, defenseman in this 2023 draft. So, lots going on there. I'm trying to think. So, yeah, those are our guys. So, woohoo! Most of them are winners except for Finland. Woo! Go Blues prospects. Do not come at me. You try being in my position with all of these hockey names. It is not always easy, but at least I put the attempt in it. Okay. Anywho. Oh, I can put comments up on here? Okay. If you have any comments, by the way, for the next talking point about my Blues wish list, definitely putting them up on here so I can showcase them to everybody so that way they can all see it. So, anyways, the Blues will be taking on those Dallas Stars, which is going to be a tough game. I know. I'm like in the holly jolly mood. I'm like, oh, yay, World Juniors. The Blues win over Chicago. Okay, now let's go reel it in because the Blues will be playing against this Dallas Stars. And this is going to be a tough game for St. Louis because, well, first off, it's Dallas and they're pretty good. The benefit, the Blues will be at home, which, I mean, to me, that's an advantage, but I don't know if it's like an advantage to the players. I don't really know. I mean, I know home ice matters in a way, but I mean, it does, right? I guess I need to be a little bit more positive, but I don't know. I just personally would like to go against a team that's not as good as Dallas, but it's fine. So let's go see some new comments before I go talk about this. Yeah, that third period, that's the thing. They need to play like that the whole entire time, especially and that comment's referring to the Blues' win against Chicago. They need to play the way that they did in that third period. So Braden Saw, Jake Neighbors, Justin Folk, and Jordan Kyrou scored in clutch moments during that game against Chicago. Robert Thomas and Colton Parayko also scored as well. We can't get down like that. But what a comeback and what character win from everyone, Robert Thomas said. And I think that this is what the Blues need to focus on heading into Dallas. Well, as they're hosting Dallas, is the fact that they are capable of playing really good hockey even when trailing. So let's go say Dallas gets on the board first because that's usually what happens sometimes. I need St. Louis to persevere. I need them to have that momentum that they did when they were going against the Blackhawks because it is unbelievable that they were able to kind of get down the way that they did. The Blues also now have 4 power play goals and how long of a period? Because it was this weekend, but 5 games. Yep. So since Drew Bannister, I knew that it was like a big number. Yeah. 4 power play goals since Drew Bannister has been the head coach. I kind of want to say that it's been better. Okay, like they're still like 31st in the NHL. So like I know that it's not great. That's not a good thing, by the way, because there's 32 teams in the NHL. I'm trying to be positive, but like there is like slight improvements, I guess, right? Um the Blues also won now 4 of their last 5 games. So there is some good things that I am seeing. But again, it's too soon to tell how Bannister is going to be as a coach because they haven't been on any like losing streaks. There's not been like a lot of time that Bannister has been the coach, obviously, of the Blues. So personally, as a fan, I would like to see some more times. But I think the Blues, as I said, I'll do my pregame show tomorrow. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think that if they play the way that they did in that third period against Chicago, they should be able to win. The Blues are a better team than I think they give themselves credit for, and that's just my analysis of them. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about my friends over at Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their best guarantee price, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. Easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, and you can get views from your seat and the lowest price guarantee. And the best part about Game Time is that you can see exactly where you're sitting before you purchase that ticket. So you just go on the app, it's super easy to use, and you can literally see, oh, if I'm looking to my left, this is going to be my view. If I'm looking to my right, this is my view. If I'm looking up, if I'm looking down, if I'm looking all around, if I'm looking behind me, I don't know why you're going to be looking behind you, but if you're looking behind you, you can still see where you're going to be sitting. So Game Time is the absolute best. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. You can call me Haley Claus. And why are you going to call me Haley Claus? Because I'm going to make your dreams come true. Because, baby, all I wanted for Christmas was the blues. Oh, wow, Haley, what? Okay. So I had this brilliant idea that if you could create a blues wish list, what would you want? It can be a player, it can be anything, really. It's really up to you because, baby, as I said, all I want for Christmas is blues. And I have to say, my wish list post on Twitter was not disappointing. So if you're on YouTube right now, let me know what your wish list would be for the blues and I will react to that. It's a little fun segment that I have going on here on Locked on Blues. But let's begin. On Twitter, Dean says, more consistency play from the boys. Not going anywhere this year. I just am waiting for the younger guns to arrive. Dean, that's realistic. I like how you think. But sometimes with a wish list, you can be a little bit cuckoo bananas, I would like to call it, a little bit crazy, a little bit out there. So, bring back St. Louis Punk says Matthew Barzell in the offseason, trading Krug/Folk and bringing in a replacement for them. Maybe Hannafin if it's Krug. Ooh, okay. I like that. Now that's a wish list. Daniel says to continue to build chemistry and play for each other. Somebody named Haley Taylor Simon says better defense. Oh, wait. That's me. Yeah, better defense. Okay, so I love showing comments, baby. Rob says, my wish list is 10 for 10 on next 10 power plays. Okay, I told you we can be a little bit crazy out there. So I do like that. I like the way of thinking. I think wish lists are all about just being fun. It's all about just being out there and, saying what we think. So again, YouTube, if you're watching right now, let me know what your biggest wish for the blues would be, what your wish list for the blues will be. Because I think that wish lists can be a little bit out there. I'm going to go onto the YouTube channel at Locked on Blues, by the way. I have to say, I've been getting some subscribers as of lately, and you guys are the best subscribers in the planet. I feel like this has just been such a positive, community. So on the YouTubes, Charles says, another cup. Oh, I would like that too, Charles. I would like that too. I think that it is okay for us as fans to wish for big things for our team. I think that it shows our passion. I think that it shows how much we care about the state of the Blues. And that's what's most important. So, with that being said, again, I am Haley Claus. I am your ultimate genie, your wish maker for the St. Louis Blues. Like Aladdin, that is me. So, if you're watching this, if you didn't catch this on live, totally okay. Let me know in the comments below what your Blues' wish list would be. And maybe I'll talk about it on tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow will be a fun episode. It's going to be the Blues and the Stars pregame show. And then we have a great contest with the Blues and Stars tomorrow night. I hate that there's no hockey. I understand why. It's like the holiday break. And I get that, but I miss my hockey. So excited for hockey to be back tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day of hockey, but enjoying some of the World Juniors and being able to watch that all throughout today. With that being said, I seriously hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. And I'm very thankful for every single thing that this podcast has brought to me and all the positivity, being able to talk about the Blues. And I know, okay, this season hasn't been the best, but you have been the best. And I feel like the conversations that you and I have every day really goes a long way. So I love my little family here on Locked On Blues. I'm getting all sentimental. And don't forget, when I hit those 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. So make sure you tell your friends, your family, your enemies to subscribe, your burner accounts, or even if it's an account that hates me, tell them to subscribe because I will be doing a giveaway when we get to that 1,000. So with all that being said, I will talk to you tomorrow. And as always, let's go Blues.